I started learning trading again after 5 years of losing. Let me take you back. 5 years ago, I thought I had it figured out. Candlestick patterns, indicators, support, resistance, the usual stuff. I was obsessed. Trading felt like the way out. The escape hatch from a life I didn't want. A 9 to 5 that drained me. Bills that mocked me. And a dream that refused to die. So I did what a lot of people do. I opened a demo account, made a few fake trades, watched price go my way, clicked buttons like a pro, and thought, this is it. This is how I'm gonna make it. Then I deposited real money. Not a lot. Just enough to feel something. $500. Gone in 2 weeks. Then $1,000. Gone in 3 days. Then $2,000. Gone in one trade. I remember sitting there, staring at the screen, heart pounding, screen frozen. I had no stop loss, no plan, just hope. And hope is expensive in trading. But I didn't stop, because losing didn't scare me yet. What scared me more was going back to that job, back to being ordinary. So I kept pushing. I kept forcing trades. I kept believing that the next big win was around the corner. But it never came. Only more losses. More self-blame. More frustration. More lies to myself. I started hiding. From friends. From family. I didn't want to explain. Didn't want to justify why I was still trying. Why I still believed in something that gave me nothing but pain. I stopped going out. Started drinking more coffee. Sleeping less. Always watching charts. Always refreshing MT4. And slowly, the dream started dying. I walked away. No big moment. No final trade. Just silence. I closed the laptop and left trading behind. For 5 years. 5 full years. In those years, I changed. I matured. But I never stopped thinking about it. That part of me, the part that believed I could live life on my terms, it never fully died. It just got buried. Under responsibility. Under fear. Under realistic goals. But deep down, the fire was still there. Then one day, I was cleaning out my old hard drive and found a folder labeled Trading Plans. I clicked. Old screenshots. Notes. Ideas. Mistakes. All of it came rushing back. I sat there for hours. Not trading. Just remembering. And I realized something. I didn't fail because I was dumb. I failed because I never really learned. I chased wins. I avoided losses. I refused to look in the mirror. I blamed the market, the broker, the indicator, everything but me. That's not learning. That's gambling in disguise. I wasn't a trader. I was just another desperate soul looking for a shortcut. But now, I was different, wiser, more humble. So I made a decision. Not to trade. Not yet. But to learn. From scratch. Like a beginner. Like I knew nothing. Because honestly, I didn't. This time, I didn't start with indicators. I started with psychology. With discipline. With myself. I read books. Watched interviews. Studied pros who had been in the game for 10, 20 years. Not the flashy ones. The quiet ones. The consistent ones. The ones who made it boring and profitable. That's who I wanted to become. I journaled every day, wrote down how I felt, what I saw, what I did wrong. I stopped chasing setups, started observing behavior, price behavior, my behavior. I realized the market was never the enemy. I was. Trading is not a war against others. It's a war against your own impulses. your fear, your greed, your need to be right. That need, it's toxic. It makes you hold losers, exit winners early, revenge trade, over leverage, ignore your plan. And all of that? It's emotional suicide. That was me for 5 years, but not anymore. I built routines, woke up early, marked levels, did nothing unless the setup was clean. No FOMO, no chasing. If it wasn't part of the plan, I didn't touch it. Some days, I didn't take a single trade, and I was proud of that, because patience was profit, not in dollars, in mindset. I started thinking long term. No more this week I'll double my account. Now it was, if I make 1% a month consistently, I win. Because this isn't a lottery ticket. It's a skill. And skills take time. And effort. And failure. Lots of it. I created rules. Hard rules. Max 2 trades a day. No trading after 11 a.m. Risk 1% or less. Always use a stop. Review every week. Rate myself. Brutally honest. Even if I followed all the rules and still lost money if I stayed disciplined, that was a good week. Because process is everything. Outcome is noise. But let me be clear. It wasn't smooth. There were setbacks. I slipped up. Overtraded. Got emotional. Clicked too fast. Closed trades too soon. Ignored my stop. But each time, I caught myself faster. Learned deeper. Adjusted better. Because now, I was awake. And you know what surprised me the most? It wasn't the wins. It was how peaceful trading became. No more adrenaline. No more panic. Just observation. Execution. Letting go. It felt like meditation. A calm space where ego dies. And clarity lives. My account didn't 10x. But my confidence did. My awareness did. And slowly, the results followed. Not big wins, but steady growth. Small green days. Smaller red days. Until 1 month, I finished green. Then another. And another. I wasn't rich, but I wasn't losing anymore. And that meant everything. I stopped talking about trading to impress others. Didn't post results. Didn't care about followers. Because this journey, it was no longer about proving anything. It was about becoming someone I could respect. A person of discipline. Of calm. Of control. That's what trading gave me. Not money, but transformation. And maybe that's the biggest lesson. Trading isn't about the trade. It's about the trader. It's about you. Who you become when there's no one watching. When the market punches you in the face. Do you blame? Or do you learn? Do you quit? Or do you evolve? It took me 5 years to lose. And 5 more to begin learning. Real learning. The kind that requires humility. Stillness. Patience. If I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing. Because pain taught me what books couldn't. Loss made me listen. Failure broke my ego. And that made space for growth. So if you're in a losing streak, if you've blown accounts, if you're doubting everything, don't walk away forever. But don't come back the same. Come back slower, quieter, more focused, more detached. Because trading isn't about fighting the market. It's about surrendering to reality. Again and again. I'm still learning. Still journaling. Still making mistakes. But now, I don't run from them. I write them down. Study them. Learn from them. Because I'm not here to win every trade. I'm here to master myself. And that's the real profit. There's something nobody tells you when you start trading again after years of failure. It's not just about learning charts or risk management. It's about unlearning the trauma, the muscle memory of panic, The instinct to fix a bad trade. The impulse to get it all back today. That stuff doesn't leave quietly. It screams. Especially when you open the platform again after all those years. The first time I placed a demo trade again, my hands shook. I wasn't even using real money. But it felt real. Because I knew what came next last time. Disappointment, frustration, shame. But this time, I stopped, took a deep breath, and reminded myself, this isn't about the money anymore. This is about execution. I spent weeks on demo, not to test strategies, but to rebuild emotional control, to observe what triggered my fear, to spot the old voices in my head. You're late. Don't miss it. Just risk more this time. Same voices. New me. And slowly, I silenced them. Not by arguing, but by listening, by understanding where they came from. They were survival mechanisms, patterns I'd built to avoid the pain of loss. But those patterns were the real reason I lost. So I had to rewire, day by day. I learned to love watching price do nothing, just drifting sideways. That used to drive me crazy. Now, it made me calm, because I wasn't here to do something. I was here to wait for alignment. The setup. The plan. Not a rush. Not a guess. A decision. When I finally went live again, it was with $100. Not because I was broke, but because I needed to respect the process. That $100 taught me more than the $5,000 I lost years ago. Because this time, I treated every dollar like a teacher, not a prize. First trade? Loss. And I smiled, because it followed the rules. Second trade? Break even. Still proud. Third trade? Small win. Cool, but irrelevant. Because what mattered most was this. I stayed calm. I stayed me. Over time, I learned to feel the difference between emotional trades and aligned ones. You can feel it. When you're trading from need, it's tight. Your body tenses. Your breath shortens. You hope. When you're trading from alignment, it's quiet. Detached. Almost boring. That's the space I try to live in now. And let me be honest. Some days, I still slip. I still feel FOMO. Still feel the urge to make up for a red day. But I've trained myself to pause. To stand up. To walk away. Because the biggest win? It's not a green candle. It's a still mind. I built rituals around trading. Meditation before charts. 5-minute breathing before entries. Stretching after exits. Because trading is not just mental. It's physical. It lives in your nervous system. If you don't regulate that, no strategy will save you. I stopped trading from my phone. Stopped talking about trades to people who don't understand trading. Stopped comparing my journey to someone on Twitter who turned $1 Kelvin into $100 Kelvin in 3 months. That noise? It's poison. The only voice that matters now is mine. The calm one. The focused one. The one that says, it's okay. Just stick to the plan. You know what's funny? The more I detached from outcomes, the more consistent my outcomes became. Because I was no longer emotionally attached to the result. I became obsessed with the execution, the process, the ritual, and that's when everything shifted. I started tracking every trade, not just the entry and exit, but how I felt before and after. My thoughts, my intentions, if I felt rushed or relaxed, if I followed my routine or skipped it. That journal became my therapist. It showed me patterns I couldn't see in real time. And over time, I built self-trust. That's rare in trading. Most people only trust their wins. But true confidence? It's when you trust yourself in losses. When you can lose and not spiral. When you can say, yep, that was part of the game. Let's keep going. Because this game, it breaks most people. Not because it's hard, but because it reveals who you are. Your impatience, your ego, your insecurity, your need for control. And if you don't face that, you'll sabotage yourself again and again. I've learned to treat every trade like a mirror. It shows me something about the market and about myself. That reflection, it's uncomfortable, but it's where the growth island, that's where the real trading happens. People ask me now, are you profitable? I smile and say, I'm becoming. Because profit is not a destination. It's a side effect of discipline, of patience, of self-mastery. And I'm still on that path. Will I ever be a millionaire trader? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. But what I do know is that I've already won something bigger. Peace. Focus. Confidence. I've rebuilt myself through this journey. And that's worth more than any account balance. So if you're thinking of coming back, if the dream still haunts you, if you're afraid to try again because of how much it hurt, I see you. I've been there. And I'll say this, come back, but come back different. Come back slower. Come back with humility, with curiosity, with discipline. Come back with the intention to become, not to win. Because when you do that, everything changes. The pressure fades. The chaos calms. And trading becomes what it was always meant to be. A reflection of who you are, not a shortcut to who you want to be.